Hello and welcome to Civilizational Bridge. Today we are going to explore the story of Christmas, a holiday loved by many around the world. What's the story behind this festive day? Was it the day when Jesus Christ was born? What about the customs and traditions of Christmas, such as Santa Claus, Christmas tree, stockings, etc.? Today is not the 25th of December. Why am I making a video on Christmas? Because it might as well be the day we could celebrate the birthday of Jesus Christ. Let me explain.
Iyam visrushtiryata ababhuva yadivadadhe yadivana yo asya jakshaha parame vyomanso angam veda yadivana veda.
Our story begins with an annual celestial event, the winter solstice. Winter solstice is the shortest day of the year in the northern hemisphere, while it is the longest day of the year in the southern hemisphere. It usually occurs on the 21st or the 22nd of December. Earth's axis is tilted at an angle of about 23.5 degrees relative to its orbit around the Sun. Now, during the winter solstice, the Arctic Circle doesn't receive any sunlight. The entire northern hemisphere will experience the shortest day and the longest night of the year. Opposite happens in the southern hemisphere because it is tilted towards the Sun. Let me demonstrate this.
Notice how I angle the torchlight below and to one side of the sphere, like the sun shining on Earth tilted away from it. This tilt means less sunlight reaches the northern hemisphere, leading to shorter days and longer nights. As the Earth rotates, different parts experience day and night, but because of the tilt, the sunlight is less direct, hence the colder winter months. Now, let's switch to the summer solstice. I will move the torchlight above and to the side. This mimics the northern hemisphere tilting towards the sun, bathing it in more direct sunlight. It's why we have the longest day and the shortest night of the year during this time. Again, as our Earth rotates, the extended daylight hours bring warmer temperatures leading to the summer season. And say you are wondering about equinoxes. When day and night are equal, if I shine the light directly at the side of the sphere, and it shows the Earth's tilt aligns in a way that both hemispheres receive equal amounts of light. Through this simple demonstration, we see how the tilt of our Earth and its orbit around the Sun orchestrate the rhythm of seasons, a dance that has continued for millennia. This is the story and the essence of the solstices, a fundamental part of our civilization's relationship with the cosmos.
One more interesting fact. Winter in the northern hemisphere happens when Earth is closest to the Sun, but in the southern hemisphere it is summer at the same time. It's all because of that 23.5 degree tilt. So in December, while it is winter in Europe, North America and Asia including India, it is summer in Australia and parts of South America below the equator. Coming back to the winter solstice, ancient people in the northern hemisphere observing this natural phenomenon celebrated the solstice as a sign of the eventual return of longer days and the sun's rebirth, the concept of light winning over the darkness. When someone asks you about Diwali, what do we say? We say it is about light winning over the darkness. When someone asks you about Dasahara, what do we say? We reiterate, it is about light winning over the darkness. There's more to these stories, right? Yes. The reason I am talking about Christmas is to nudge people to tell more about our festivals to those who don't know, and also to help you learn about this incredible festival of Christmas. Let's talk about why December 25th. The exact reasoning behind the choice of December 25th as the date to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ instead of the winter solstice dates of December 21st or 22nd is not definitely recorded. However, there are several historical and theological conjectures. There are a couple of Roman festivals. One is Saturnalia. Saturnalia was an older and more traditional Roman festival that honored Saturn, the god of agriculture and time. It typically took place in mid-December, around December 17th, and lasted for several days, often through to December 23rd. Saturnalia was characterized by feasting, role reversals, gift giving, and a general suspension of societal rules, symbolizing the golden age of Saturn's rule. Another Roman festival was Sol Invictus. December 25th was the date of the Roman festival of Sol Invictus, the unconquered sun, which celebrated the sun god and the return of longer days after the winter solstice. Early Christians may have chosen this date for Christmas to adopt and transform existing pagan celebrations into a Christian holiday. Aligning the celebration of Christ's birth with a popular festival may have facilitated the acceptance of Christianity in the Roman Empire. Linking the birth of Jesus Christ, whom they referred to as the light of the world, with the time of the year when the light begins to increase. The choice of December 25th, a few days after solstice, could be seen as a symbolic of the new light or the advent of salvation following the darkest period of the year. There is this another theory of calculation from Annunciation. This theory is to the date of Annunciation, March 25th. It is the celebration of the angel Gabriel's announcement to Mary that she would give birth to Jesus. Early Christian tradition dated the Annunciation to March 25th, and so December 25th is exactly 9 months later. It was chosen as the birth date of Jesus Christ. Also, early Christians did not initially emphasize the celebration of Christ's birth. The primary focus was on his death and resurrection. The exact date of Jesus' birth was not of significant concern in early Christianity, and the Gospels do not mention a specific date. The choice of December 25th for Christmas was likely influenced by a combination of factors, including the desire to Christianize popular pagan festivals, symbolic interpretations, and traditional dates in the Christian liturgical calendar. The decision was less about historical accuracy and more about theological and practical considerations. Let's talk about some Christmas traditions.
I go wherever children are, always on my way with happiness, wrapped up in fancy toys.
Santa Claus originates from Saint Nicholas of Myra, a 4th century bishop in modern day Turkey, renowned for his generosity, particularly towards children. Legends of his secret gift giving laid the foundation for the Santa Claus myth. How did it evolve though? Dutch settlers in the US apparently brought the tradition of Sinterklaas, a figure based on Saint Nicholas, who eventually morphed into Santa Claus. British figure Father Christmas, a symbol of good cheer, also influenced this evolution. A poem, A Visit from Saint Nicholas, from 1823 by Clement Clarke Moore, popularly known as "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," helped shape the modern image of Santa. Jolly, plump, with a white beard. Later, Coca-Cola advertisements in the 1930s solidified his red-suited, cheerful image. Another figure is Krampus. Krampus, with roots in Central and Eastern European folklore, is a horned anthropomorphic figure. He is often depicted as a counterpart to Saint Nicholas. While Santa rewards good children, Krampus, in German Krampus, is said to punish those who misbehave. The tradition includes Krampusnacht, a night when Krampus is believed to roam the streets, scaring children and even adults. Recently, Krampus has seen a revival in popular culture and is celebrated with festivals and parades in Europe and America, emphasizing a more humorous and community-centric aspect. Let's talk about Christmas stockings. Where did that tradition come from? It apparently came from the legend of Saint Nicholas. It's said he dropped gold down a chimney which landed in stockings that were hung by the fire to dry as a gift to 3 impoverished sisters. This legend evolved into children hanging stockings or putting out shoes, eagerly awaiting gifts from Santa Claus. The tradition symbolizes receiving blessings and good fortune.
Christmas Santa!
Christmas tree. Apparently it has pagan roots. The Christmas tree, apparently the ancient peoples like the Romans and Celts used evergreen branches during winter solstice festivals as symbols of everlasting life. The tradition was adopted by Christians in Germany, where the first recorded use of a decorated tree for Christmas was in the 16th century. Martin Luther is credited with adding lighted candles to a tree. The Christmas tree became popular in Britain and the United States in the 19th century, especially after Queen Victoria and Prince Albert were depicted with a Christmas tree. It symbolizes festivity, family, and the spirit of Christmas. What about Christmas lights? In its earlier forms, apparently Christmas trees were decorated with candles, which represented Christ as the light of the world. But they posed a fire hazard. So, the introduction of electric Christmas lights obviously was a safer alternative. Edward Johnson, an associate of Thomas Edison, created the first string of electric Christmas lights in 1882. Today, Christmas lights have evolved into elaborate displays both in public spaces and homes, symbolizing joy, festivity, and the beauty of the holiday season. What's truly remarkable is how these diverse customs born in different corners of the world have come together to form the Christmas we celebrate today. Each tradition, whether it be the heartwarming tale of Saint Nicholas, the lively decorations of Christmas trees, or the magical glow of lights, adds a unique hue to the festive palette of this global holiday. Now, let's shift our focus towards how Christmas is celebrated all around the world. In Germany, you have the Christmas markets and Advent traditions. Advent means 4 Sundays before Christmas, which prepares one for the birth of Jesus Christ. In the heart of Germany, during the festive season, the air is crisp and the streets come alive with the glow of Christmas markets or Weihnachtsmärkte. These markets, a tradition dating back to the Middle Ages, transforms town centers into a wonderland of lights, crafts and aromas. Stalls brimming with handcrafted ornaments, nutcrackers and intricate toys invite passers-by to partake in the heritage of German craftsmanship. The scent of Lebkuchen, the German gingerbread, mingles with the spicy warmth of Glühwein, a mulled wine that has been a staple of these markets for centuries. The Advent season here is marked not just by shopping but also by reflection and anticipation. Advent calendars with a small window opened each day leading to Christmas and Advent wreaths with 4 candles each lit on the 4 Sundays of Advent are cherished family traditions, symbolizing the light and hope leading up to the birth of Christ. In Sweden, the Christmas season begins with Saint Lucia's Day on December 13th. Young girls dressed in white gowns with red sashes and candle wreaths lead processions, symbolizing the bringing of light in the dark winter. The Swedish Yule board, a grand Christmas buffet, offers a taste of traditional delicacies. Let's look at the scene in Italy. Italy has the Italian feast of the 7 fishes and La Befana. Italian Christmas Eve is celebrated with the feast of the 7 fishes. It's a sumptuous seafood feast. And then there's La Befana, a kind witch who delivers gifts to children on January 5th, adding a unique Italian twist to the Christmas narrative. Let's take a look at how Russia celebrates Christmas. In Russia, Christmas is celebrated on January 7th following the Julian calendar. It's often overshadowed by New Year's festivities but remains a time of reverence and tradition. Father Frost and his granddaughter, the Snow Maiden, bring the festive cheer, symbolizing the generosity of the season. Philippines has the world's longest Christmas season and Simbang Gabi. In the Philippines, Christmas is not just a day or a week but an entire season of joy and celebration, famously known as the world's longest Christmas season. Festivities start as early as September and stretch until January. a testament to the deeply rooted Christian faith and exuberant culture of the Filipino people. They have early morning masses and community gatherings. Central to this celebration is Simbang Gabi, a series of 9 early morning masses leading up to Christmas Day. These dawn services, filled with hymns and prayers, symbolize the devotion and anticipation of the Filipino Christians. Streets and homes are adorned with star-shaped lanterns called paroles, a symbol of the Star of Bethlehem. After the Mass, families and friends gather to savor traditional Filipino holiday delicacies, strengthening community bonds in the spirit of the season. And in Japan, obviously you have the Christmas cakes and illuminations. In Japan, where Christmas is more a cultural festival than a religious one, the holiday is marked by its own unique customs. A delightful Japanese twist to Christmas is the Christmas cake, a sponge cake delicately frosted with whipped cream and topped with strawberries. These cakes, not just delicious but also a feast for the eyes, are a symbol of Western influence blended with Japanese tastes. And they also have a dazzling light displays in cities. As night falls, cities across Japan illuminate with breathtaking light displays. Streets, parks and buildings are draped in glittering lights, creating a magical atmosphere. These illuminations, a relatively recent tradition, have quickly become a centerpiece of the Japanese Christmas, drawing families and couples to bask in the radiant festive glow. Let's look at Mexico, Las Posadas and nativity scenes. In Mexico, the essence of Christmas is captured in the heartfelt tradition of Las Posadas. This 9-day celebration leading up to Christmas Eve reenacts the biblical journey of Mary and Joseph seeking shelter in Bethlehem. Each evening, a procession moves from house to house with participants holding candles and singing traditional villancicos or Christmas carols asking for lodging. The rejection and eventual acceptance at a home symbolize community and hospitality, central tenets of Mexican culture. Mexican homes and public spaces proudly display nacimientos, elaborate nativity scenes that go beyond Mary, Joseph and baby Jesus, often including extensive landscapes and numerous figures showcasing the artistic expression and religious devotion of the Mexican people. Let's move over to the Australian continent. Christmas in summer, it's summer for the southern hemisphere, right? And they have the Boxing Day Test cricket, my favorite sport. In Australia, Christmas comes in the heat of summer. Here, traditional winter imagery gives way to barbecues on the beach, outdoor concerts and festive gatherings under the sun. Australian Christmas is a unique blend of British heritage and laid-back beach culture, reflecting the diversity and spirit of the land down under. The day after Christmas, known as Boxing Day, is marked by one of the biggest sporting events in the country, the Boxing Day Test cricket. Families and friends gather around televisions or in cricket grounds, basking in the camaraderie and the excitement of this beloved sport, making it an integral part of the Australian Christmas tradition. Italy's Feast of the Seven Fishes and the folklore of La Befana, Sweden's luminous St. Lucia's Day, and Russia's Orthodox celebrations with Father Frost each tells a story of cultural richness and shared human joy. As we conclude our exploration of Christmas customs around the world here at Civilizational Bridge, a personal reflection comes to mind. In recent years, there's been a shift from the traditional Merry Christmas to a more generic Happy Holidays. This change, while meant to be inclusive, often feels like it dilutes the essence of what we are truly celebrating, Christmas itself. This alteration in greeting, though small, symbolizes a broader trend, the gradual erosion of specific cultural practices and traditions in the name of inclusivity. Much like how Christmas itself overshadowed festivals like Saturnalia, the phrase Happy Holidays risks doing the same to Christmas. It's a gentle yet poignant reminder of the importance of preserving the distinctiveness of our celebrations. By saying Merry Christmas, we honor a tradition that has been celebrated for centuries, a tradition rich in history and meaning. It's not about excluding others, but rather about preserving the uniqueness of this beloved festival. Just as we won't replace Happy Diwali or Eid Mubarak or Happy Hanukkah with a generic greeting, so too should Christmas be afforded the same respect for its cultural and historical significance. In our quest to be inclusive, let's not forget the value of our specific cultural heritages. Let's cherish and uphold the traditions that define us and our histories. From Civilizational Bridge, a Merry Christmas to all who celebrate it. May this season be a time of joy, reflection, and appreciation for the rich tapestry of traditions that make up our world. Thank you. This is your host, Hemant.